Yo, yo, yo! Welcome everybody to the after party of day number two. Thank you for your kiss. Mwah, love you. Of day two of Project 1 Million, and today's a very special episode. It is called How to Apply the SKEPT Methodology. And this is going to be useful for anyone that wants to build a scalable business out of something that you actually love and that actually makes your heart sing and something that is your passion. But before we're going to go live about this, I'm just going to make sure that my sound is actually working. So let me just do a little check to see that the sound is working. Very
It's going
good.
to be useful.
Yes, I done my checks. All right, awesome. I just want to tell you guys one very quick thing before we get dive in, and this is going to be a very effective and very how to say swift session. I want to let you guys know that my little puppy Goku, who has very long hair, so we're gonna go to the groomers in a couple of days. It's his birthday. It's Goku's birthday. Mwah! He's 4 years old, and I remember it very vividly. 4 years ago, he was such a little teeny weeny mouse puppy, and for 4 years now, he has been absolutely the such such a such a well, I don't know how to say it, baby and friend, my little son, and such a mentor as well, as funny as it may sound. So I just want to say happy birthday to Goku! And we're gonna have some time together in just a moment, and we had some fun time together as well. Even though he's a puppy, he's my little baby. So I just want to say that to you guys. And right now, I am so excited. So I want everybody to kick back, relax as we do the intro video, and then we're diving into today's topic. Let's go, guys. So, once again, welcome everybody to today's session. And I'm so excited about it because today we are going to dive in and really unpack what the SKEPT is and how to apply it. So, I know this is especially going to be very useful to those of my students who are either part of FLC or part of Project 1 Million right now. And tomorrow we're going to obviously completely design or redesign your business so that it becomes scalable. And so the SKEPT is very useful for that. So if you have an existing business, but you want to figure out like how can I shift it a little bit, adapt it a little bit so that it becomes scalable, or if you are never been in business, you're going to start from scratch. How can you do this from scratch? So the SKEPT will help you with that as well. But also, if you're watching this and you are not part of Project 1 Million, not my student yet, and you want to learn how does this work and understand like how can you also build a scalable business based off of something that is close to your heart, then this is the way to do it. So the SKEPT, let me write it correctly, SKEPT, it stands for something very simple, and this is basically the way how the exercise goes. But then after I quickly explain how the exercise goes, then I'm going to dive into some real life examples from some of our students. So if some of our students are tuning in right now, feel free to share, comment below what your SKEPT elements are, and then maybe I can address some of the questions, but I do know we have two at least that I'm going to already decipher. So what does the SKEPT stand for? Basically what it stands for is 5 different things. So the first one is, what are your skill sets? So what are skill sets that you have developed over your lifetime thus far? What are skills that you have either learned from work, from just doing things by yourself, from hobbies, from what you've learned in school? Whatever skills do you have? Next, what is the different knowledge that you have? What do you have knowledge in? This could again be knowledge from books, knowledge from school, knowledge from work, knowledge from the street, any piece of knowledge. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the absolute best in it. It just means that you have knowledge that you could impart on other people. Next, what kind of experiences do you have you had in your life? Maybe you've gone through a fitness transformation and you were not so fit and now you're super fit, and you want to share with other people how they can do that too, and what was the way that you did it. Because do you think that might be some people that want to know how you did it? Of course. Next, what are you passionate about? Maybe you're passionate about food, you're a foodie, or you're passionate about music, or you're passionate about helping people. Write all of the things that you are passionate about. And last but not least, what are your talents? What are things that ever since you were a little kid, you were complimented on, things that just were natural born. And sometimes people ask for the difference between skill sets and talents. I usually say that these come natural to you and these are things that you have learned. But if you don't really know how to distinguish them and don't really know which one came to me naturally and which ones have I actually, in fact, learned, then just smush them together in one column. All right? Now, here's the exercise. What you want to do is you want to write down all the different skill sets. Don't be humble. You want to write down all the different pieces that you've got knowledge in, all the different experiences. Again, don't be humble. Write it all down. All the different things that you're passionate about and all the different things that you have a talent in. Now, what's going to happen is from this, you're going to have a list of 10, maybe 50, maybe 100, maybe hundreds of things that over the years you have accumulated as your SKEPT elements. Now, what you will then want to do is shortlist this. And your shortlisting is probably going to happen to creating a shorter list here. Then you're going to do it again. You're going to shorter list it here. And at the end, you want to end up with a list of 5 elements. All right, when it's shortlisted to a list of 5. Now, how do you make that process of shortlisting? You're basically going to go to every single SKEPT element, and you're going to grab a red pen and a green pen, and you're going to ask a question. You're going to say, can I help a lot of people with this or not? So let me give you an example. This is actually an example by Sherry Hamilton of the Cardone Enterprises. She says, imagine that one of my skill sets is hairdressing services for butterflies. Now, do you think you're going to help a lot of butterflies with that? Do you think butterflies will line up and do business with you? Probably not. So that one is, can't help a lot of people with it. Now, if a next skill set of you is that you can help people in getting more aligned, allowing people to find more grounding, helping people to be able to become that best version of themselves. Can you help a lot of people with that? Yes, you can help a lot of people with that. So that skill set makes it to the short list. And so you're going to go through every single element and basically ask the question, can I help a lot of people? Can I not help a lot of people? Can I help a lot of people or not? And so you're going to go through it and you're going to have a short list. Then you're going to do it again. And you have another short list. You're going to do it again. You have another short list. You're going to end up with the 5 elements from your SKEPT that apparently you can help the most people with. Does that make sense? If that makes sense so far, then comment below and say yes. Now, the next step, and this is a very interesting one, the next step is that you're not just going to have these SKEPT elements, you're going to also combine it with your core values. And ideally, you want to have 5 core values. So what are core values? It means like things that you deeply believe in, the values that you, as well as your company, your brand, are founded in. So for me, core values are family. Core values are honesty. Core values are respecting people and having respect for any different human being and being able to act with respect and act with unconditional love. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to call people out if they do silly stuff, but it does mean that your respect comes intrinsically from the fact that it's a human being rather than what is their status or what is their perceived value. But that the fact that it's a human being is enough to go and respect them. So that's another core value. So what you don't want to do is you want to take these 2 and then come up with a list of, again, magic number, 5 elements. And when you come up with this to the 5 elements, these ones are called branding pillars. And I actually want to give credit because the first time that I learned this, it was from a company called Brand VIP. And I'm going to give a shout out to Toma and Marta for imparting this knowledge on me back then, which has been so valuable. And I've been passing it on people for a long time. So where do these things then come in place? Well, it basically comes into place in here. So if you want to build a business, the first thing that you want to realize is that you want to build a brand. And we're not actually talking at FLC about building a business. We're talking about building a freedom lifestyle business empire that is not just one income stream, but multiple income streams that are then allowing you to not rely on just one thing. But at the same time, you can't build 5 income streams at the same time. So you want to make sure that you're building one at a time. At the same time, and I said the word time very many times, is that you want to make sure that you do lay the foundation of all of them. So how do we do that? It's by you recognizing that you're building a brand first, because it's the brand that allows you to build the trust with people. You're adding value to people, you're building relationships with people, you're having conversations with people that builds trust, and trust is what leads to business. And that's a very important blueprint right there. But I also say always is that you are your own brand. A lot of the time people are trying to make up certain brands and come up with different things, which is definitely possible. Like you can create a company brand, but even the strongest company brands out there, like Apple, were only so successful because of the personal brand that Steve Jobs was and had. Does that make sense? So it is always important that there is a personal element to it. So that's why we always say like, you are your own brand. And we highly recommend people to build personal brands, because also that allows you to have that flexibility. If you start the toilet factory company and 1 year you're super excited about it, but next year you're like, hey, I don't really like that anymore and I want to go into coaching, then the brand that you've already built, you cannot just reuse that brand and the audience that you've built to say, hey, the toilet factory is now coaching as well. It doesn't work that way. But if you build a personal brand and you start doing one business with one product, and then later on you're pivoting, that's totally fine, because it's a personal brand. As a person, you can adapt, and so can your brand, can grow. And so that's the whole ideology behind it, plus a lot more, but this is what I'm going to share for now. Now then, you want to create a movement. A movement is very important, and as Steve Jobs says, it's actually far more important than whatever is going to become your product or your service, because a movement precedes that. The movement is actually basically creating a tribe, creating a group where people feel at home. They feel like, man, this is my people, and they feel so much connection with that movement that no matter what your product is, no matter what your service is, people will be very happy buying from you over a so-called competitor that actually doesn't exist anyways. So that's the second thing, the movement. What is your movement? For us, our movement is Freedom Lifestyle Movement. We believe, as you can see behind me here, Freedom Lifestyle Creators, we believe that every single person has the right to be free, physically free, mentally free, spiritually free, financially free. And that is the foundation, the fundaments of our movement. Everyone that gets in touch with our movement through our brands is going to be empowered one way or another to create one or another form of freedom. So that's basically the whole thing. So this one for us is freedom. What is your movement? What is the thing that you want any and all of your businesses in the future, all the income streams, to be connected by? Now, it could also be that you're the same. Maybe you also have freedom. Maybe you want something else, whatever it is for you. Now, and then from that, here is where you then finally get those branding pillars. So branding pillar number 1, branding pillar number 2, branding pillar number 3, branding pillar number 4, and branding pillar number 5, right? And where did these come from? They come from the previous exercise. So where you had your 5 different SKEPT elements, and then you have 5 core values, and you're going to combine them so that becomes the branding pillars. And here's the cool part. The branding pillars are actually different pillars that you use in your branding. They're like the 5 different topics that you consistently choose from in your branding, your visibility. You make videos about them, you make posts about them, you present quotes about them. This is the way how you're putting yourself out there. But you don't want to have like 5 million branding pillars, because then there's no consistency in topic. Then there's also very difficult for people to remember you for something, because you want to think about this. Whenever I think about growing a business, think of FLC. Whenever you think about scaling, think of FLC. What do you want people to think of, and then to think of you? So that's basically where we want to have that in. But if you were only to talk about one thing, as some brands do, they only talk about fitness all day, every day, about those crunches, about those things. And sometimes people just get bored by it, because it's constantly the same thing. So as Russell Brunson actually beautifully says, you want to have multi-dimensional branding, because you are a multi-dimensional being. Why would you create a one-dimensional brand? Doesn't make any sense, right? So the branding pillars are actually the foundation of the topics that you consistently share with people, but also have the opportunity to grow into your future income streams, if that makes sense. So first, you want to make sure that branding pillar number 1 is your main desire for building your income, your first income stream. That's the first thing. The other ones want to help, in the first instance, fuel this. So they want to help put your brand on the map so that people can see different sides of you, that then fuels your first branding pillar to go and monetize. So this is the one that then produces the dollars. But then later on, they can actually grow into branding pillars or into income streams themselves. And so I want to share with you guys how we did it. And I'm going to show you 2 examples of students that I'm going to help put this SKEPT into branding pillars. So for me, this first one, let me actually use the color red so I have some variety. For me, the first one is basically anything to do with business. So we help people grow their businesses. We help people scale their businesses. We help people in any area of business, or pretty much any area. We help people with the sales, with the marketing, with automation, with the scaling of it. We help people with hiring. We help people with How do you design the business? What is the strategy? All of the different things that help you to put your impactful business out there and grow it and have it impact more people so that it can make you more money. And doing that by helping more people, that's what we help people with in a lot of ways. We have our books. You can see here's an example of a book. We have our programs, we have our coaching, our mentorship programs, we have our retreats. We have so many different ways in how we do this, but all of that is in this pillar. My next pillar is basically, I call it the empowerment pillar. Now, empowerment is obviously a key element of helping people grow their business, because if you're not empowered, how are you going to go and grow your business? But this actually has turned out to become an income stream by itself. What started at this just being a pillar where I made motivational content, inspirational content, right now, this has grown into an income stream as e-commerce. So this is an e-commerce brand that we have right now. It's called Dogged. So if you guys want to check it out, you can actually get inspirational and empowering merchandise. So I'm going to share it with you in the comments so you guys can see it for yourself. Dogged Official is basically our own clothing line, but not just clothing line. It actually has clothes, it has merch, it has what we like to call nerd wear, where people can be empowered by the messages, and they are also spiritually empowering, so that it really helps people to believe in themselves. Like we have t-shirts that say hoo ha hoo. We have things where we say success is a decision, and there's a lot of other stuff that we're coming. And if you guys have any advice or any requests for different t-shirts or hoodies or hats, let us know, and we actually create one for you. We are very much like, we want to create things that are meaningful for people. But what started as just a pillar where we were empowering, it actually turned into an income stream that empowers people, but it also makes money. Now, my next business branding pillar is lifestyle. So this is actually one that I recommend everyone to have. Something where you can show people behind the scenes, a little bit about who you are as a person, what you do. Maybe you want to take them behind the scenes when you go and meet a client, or when you're doing your doings. Like I can grow and grab my phone right now, and I can just, I can grab my Instagram, and I just know that we're live, obviously, with you guys, but I can just go make a story and say, hey, everybody, we're here live with our amazing people on YouTube, and we're making a series or making a video about how to apply the SKEPT methodology so that you too can create a scalable business based off something that is meaningful to you and that is allowing you to scale and to make a lot of money and to do amazing things. So if you want to catch it, if you want to watch us, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tjibaria, and catch us live right there. So that's more of a, hey, come and join us type of video. But this is also, again, behind the scenes. It allows people to become a part of it. I could add a link, but I'm not doing that just because I'm with you guys right now. And that's basically it. You just take people behind the scenes, you show them. Sometimes I'm just walking Goku and I'm picking up a poo whilst I'm live, and, just get people to see that we're human, that I'm a human, that you're human, that actually we're the real deal. We're just not like, oh, I'm pretending to be like an influencer. No, I'm a person. I have a mission, and I make mistakes. I have doubts. I have funny stuff happening in my life. And I want you guys to know that if I, as a very imperfect person, can do it, you can do it too. So that's a very powerful one. And you don't have to put your whole life out there, because I don't. Just check me out on any of my Instagram platform or any of my platforms, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere. I don't put my entire life on it. I choose intentionally what I want to share. And over the years, I've grown to share more than I did in the beginning, because in the beginning I thought it was scary. But later on, I actually felt that the more I share honestly and authentically, the more it empowers others so that they can do it too, if that makes sense. So lifestyle, behind the scenes, something like that to show who you are as a person builds a lot of really strong relationships. And in the way how we do business is that our clients are not just clients, they are our friends. They are our family. We also call our community not just our community. No, we call it the FLC family, because it is a family to me. If that makes sense. Which makes my fourth branding pillar not so surprising. It is family. Family is actually, these ones come from SKEPT. This one comes actually from core values. This one is a mix actually, because showing people the behind the scenes, who I am as a person, is actually displaying core values altogether, because I'm just, the person that I am, and I showcase whatever I do. And these two are kind of connected from that. So these, if you look at, again, your exercise, you have some of your SKEPT elements, and then you some of your core values. And it's not the same, like you take 3 from this and 2 from this, or 4 from this and 1 from here. It doesn't actually matter, but you want to do it in a meaningful way that helps you do the best good, but also helps you to have the most efficiency in growing this empire that you're growing. So for me, family is one of my biggest core values. And the funny thing is, and you guys can probably attest to this, is that because family is one of my main core values, and everything for me is about family, my blood family, but also my FLC family, is that because of that, I also attract people that have very strong family values. So I want everybody to comment below and also say like, hey, you attract what you are. And so I'm very intentional, and you should be very intentional about what do you put out there. Make it you. Don't try to be anybody else but yourself. Be authentic, be yourself, and you will start seeing that what you then put out there is also what you attract back. So that's why we have the most amazing students in the world, because we just click in that way. And that's beautiful. And then last but not least, my last branding pillar is entertainment. Because for those of you who do know me, know I love to sing, I love to dance, I like to do any of these things. And actually I have a 6th branding pillar right now, which is real estate. And I don't actually mention this quite enough, but there you go, a 6th branding pillar, which is real estate, that we are now developing and growing into an income stream. So there you have it. This is my stuff. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to go through some of the stuff that my students have sent and that I'm so excited of unpacking. So I want to give a shout out first and foremost to the amazing David. Amazing David. Noi Elazar. And I'm just going to go and check out what he has sent. So what he has mentioned, and he has combined his SKEPT and his core values together. So I'm just going to write them down, and I'm going to choose how to basically map this out together. So the first one is computer. He teaches computer, smartphones, and Excel for a living, and have a lot of digital knowledge and programming experience. So I would say this is basically digital education. Foundational, let me say that, foundational and in-depth plus expert digital education. So that's one of it. He knows 3 languages. So I'm going to add languages to the mix. Very good. Knowledge, psychology, sociology, Scientology. So there's a lot of deep domain expertise. I'm just going to call it the ologies, all those G's. So we'll see if that allows to step in somewhere as well. He overcame a loss. Overcame loss in family, and he's a proud father and grandfather. That's beautiful. So family is very important. And then AI I think can be added to this one. So I'd like to also combine different things so that we can kind of put it together. Let's see what else. He's running workshops for both businesses and for people. I love that. This is actually more like an avatar, so he can perform trainings. Let me just actually add it here. So these trainings can be done for both individuals and companies, businesses. He loves, I'm not going to add every single thing to it per se, but I'm going to add those that I think are very important. So also the lifestyle one, he loves traveling. I think that's an important thing to add to the mix and showcase your love for that. Learning development, helping others to help themselves. So I would say empowerment is also a very important one for you. Family and integrity. Yeah, we have this one in here. And then family and integrity, very important. Connecting people, opening horizons, love that. Creating and fostering peace, love that. So amazing. Okay, cool. So I think connecting the core value, people, and opening up horizons, and artificial intelligence, and helping people in business. people and businesses to expand and transform through technology. So I'm going to add technology in here. Okay, so he has the preference for this first one to become his main business, his main income stream. So my advice for you, David, is that, yeah, I think it's actually quite similar to a degree as I have. So you're providing education that helps individuals and businesses to further themselves by means of digital empowerment, but also self-development, but also AI and technology. So I would probably call that brand, that pillar, like a success pillar. So you're helping people either through success. So this would be probably pillar number one: success and advancement, whether that is personal advancement or business advancement. I would probably call it that. Then next, I think the fact that you have such strong core values of wanting to help people in either empower them, helping them in with integrity, helping them with with peace, such an important thing for you. Just allowing people to bridge horizons. I would very much summarize that under empowerment. So I would call that your second one, empowerment. And I think as well, in the same way that we're doing it, you can have a lot of income coming from this at a later stage, whether that is also through e-commerce or whether it is through specific books or sharing your knowledge, maybe even being paid as a speaker to bring people together and allow people to open up their horizons and bring peace and bring higher energy and higher intelligence to people, both from intelligence in the usual interpretation of intelligence, but also emotional intelligence. I think that's a very powerful one, but I think this should be the main income stream right now. I think family. Now, let me just actually put it in a similar follower as mine. Lifestyle. Show people behind the scenes. Show people that you love books. Show people that that family matters so much to you. Show people that you love traveling. Take them behind the scenes. Show them places that you visit and that you go to. And it could be locally, it could be internationally, wherever you want to go to, but allow people to see the real David, because I know David for quite some time now. He's amazing. He's an amazing father, grandfather, an amazing entrepreneur, an amazing friend. And I really think that when you show people who you are and why you care so much, that's going to be the main driver of your business. So this one, the lifestyle, will really boost this income stream and also boost this one as a result of it. And it allows people to get to know you. I think family, definitely, like in a similar way that I have it, allow people to know your story. Allow people to also, when you talked about loss, share whatever you feel comfortable sharing, but allow people to realize that you are so much more, or you can help people with so much more than just what you say on the surface. You can help people be deeply empowered and have a sort of spiritual and mind awakening, so that therefore, because I'm a more elevated person, I can also perform better individually in my business or in whatever it is that I want to do in my careers. But also you can help teams because of it. You can be hired to speak in front of companies so that you can bring that elevation to them so that they perform better as a team. You bring people together, you help them with communication, things like that. And I think allowing your family values and family values, team values, they kind of cross connect, right? I think that's going to be a very powerful one, and allow people to know that about you is going to be good. And then last but not least, I think the final one is completely open to you, like how you want to put that in. I don't necessarily know which direction you want to go further later on with the next income streams, but I can really clearly see how these two are going to be monetized. But what I think possibly could also really help, if you mentioned like how important integrity is it for you, bringing people together, bridging gaps, maybe it could be something like where you just share your message, whether that's a message of the importance of internal growth and enlightenment that leads to things like peace and leads to togetherness, leads to people being and helping each other, or other things that are good and beautiful. And I really have a feeling that you would either be able to, yeah, have like speeches on different platforms. I think you could also really, really be like putting a book out there, like your story, the story of David, but not necessarily that it's about you. It's about the message that you bring, the legacy that you bring, which is a legacy of people coming together in a powerful form. And I think that legacy can become so super strong. And obviously, any of those can be super strong, but I think that one specifically can be so super strong that it will be something that your children and your grandchildren can take over and carry forward, a legacy of togetherness and peace and people coming together. So I would basically call this one, like, let's call it a legacy pillar. That's not that you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to share my legacy. But I think in that pillar specifically, you're going to give like hints towards those deeper, or let's not call it legacy, let's call it spirituality, togetherness, understanding that we're so much more than the people that we think we are. We are spiritual beings. We are all created equally by the beautiful Almighty, and all of us have the power to make something beautiful out of life. So let's bring people together. Let's reach beyond the horizon that we can only see right now, and let's do that in integrity and with love and with family values and with the peace in mind. I think this one could be something really big as well, and allow you to either speak on stages nationally and internationally. I think it could maybe give you a big, beautiful book that goes out there and help the masses. But I think in terms of efficiency and really scalability, this is going to be the first place. But plant the seeds for all of them so that then it will allow itself to grow. Now, I hope this was helpful. I just want to say that I thought that I would have been quicker. I have only time for one example because I have a call, a very exciting call that I've been waiting for with one of you guys that is actually tuning in. Hello. So I have to go. So I guess I'll explain the other one on another occasion, or I'll just explain it one-to-one with that specific person. But I hope that this was helpful and that you guys have been able to see like what the thought process is and how you probably will create something similar to this, but make it very clear. So the first one is the one that you monetize. The second one could be fueling this one at first, but then it can become a symbiotic income stream, as Grant Cardone always talks about, have some lifestyle elements, and these two are usually a little bit more freely chosen, if that makes sense. So hope it was useful. I gotta go. Love you guys lots. And make sure, as always, to implement this stuff, because I can share it, you can watch it, you can like it, but none of this will actually do you any good unless you implement it. So make sure to implement. That being said, if you're new to the channel, make sure to give it a like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the bell, because we're making daily videos to help everybody create freedom for yourself. So that's it. Love you, and see you later.